in just a few hours, jury deliberations will continue in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. The panel met for nearly 5 hours yesterday, but left without a verdict. When court resumes today, the jurors will rehear testimony from two key witnesses, National Enquirer Chief David Pecker, former Chief David Pecker, and Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen. So while leaving the courthouse yesterday, though, Trump took the opportunity to once again speak out about the case and the judge.
But you have a lot of big players, very big players, that would have solved their problem or actually would have given us the win. We already have the win. If we had a fair judge, this case would have been over a long time ago. But a lot of key witnesses were not called.
All right, we'll get to that in a second, though. Joining me now outside of the courthouse is CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates. Good to see you, Graham. I actually want to start things off with the note that the jury sent out after deliberating for a few hours. They requested to rehear some testimony from David Pecker and Michael Cohen. What do we know about their request?
So they asked for 4 sections of transcript portions, and these were included David Pecker's testimony about a key August 2015 meeting where prosecutors say that Pecker and Michael Cohen and Donald Trump hashed out a conspiracy to influence the election by catching and killing stories that were negative about Trump, as well as doing some other things. And they also asked to hear Michael Cohen's testimony about that same meeting. And what's really interesting about that is there was a section in the judge's instructions that they also want to have read back to them, by the way, where the judge said, you know, Michael Cohen is considered an accomplice in this case. And when you're an accomplice, we can't just convict someone on the words of an accomplice. There needs to be corroborative evidence. And David Pecker's testimony, even the defense called his testimony largely truthful. And here they are looking at a meeting where Pecker can corroborate a lot of what Michael Cohen has to say.
Oh, that's very interesting. So speaking of the judge's instructions, I think it went on for probably a little bit over an hour. Can you just remind people, you know, a lot of us are kind of just learning about the process of how this stuff works, why the judge's instructions are so important, particularly in a case like this that could be seen as somewhat convoluted?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's always important at the end of the trial. This is the first time when the judge gives the instructions, the first time the jurors actually get to learn, like, the laws that are in play. No one else in a trial is allowed to tell them about the law itself and how to apply it to the case. And in this case, the judge had to tell them, look, you're going to first decide if the records were falsified, but then for it to be a felony, you also have to clarify that there was an intent to, in this case, be a part of an unlawful conspiracy, and that there were several types of intended unlawful conduct that could apply to it, and that, in fact, they don't even all have to agree on one specific version of that unlawful conduct, but it could be that they all agree some form of that Trump intended some form of unlawful conduct through this conspiracy, and maybe there's 3 or 4 versions of that.
All right, Graham Cates, I know we're going to have you there all day long. Thank you very much.